This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, actually, sorry, what are the topics we have covered so far? Just wait, let me check. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have multiple classes, so I didn't remember exactly what we have discussed. Yeah, can you please say me what are the topics? I think XML to JSON we have completed, right?
No, we did not. We did completed only XML to XML.
XML to XML.
Yeah. Right.
No, I think. Okay.
We are in between like finishing it, but I think we ran over the time, so you stopped it.
Okay. Just wait. Just give me some moment.
We have the course content or the topics that you are going to cover.
Yeah, we have that.
We have that
I'm
list,
following.
right?
Yeah. Just let me see. Okay, you want to see that content, right? Maybe. This is what we are. This is what course content. Yeah, I'm following that. If you want, I will send that. Let's start the sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so far we have discussed about introduction of this IIB, and I think we have. Okay, today also we'll do some XML. As I told you earlier, the main advantage is for message transformation, right? So let's do from XML to JSON transformation. Okay, it's not maximizing. Okay, so let's say this is my this is my XML file. Okay, it's having one root element, three elements: ID, name, salary. Okay, I will convert. I will transform this XML to the JSON. Look at here. Let me close this. See, this is my XML. It has one root element as employee, and it has three child elements, that is ID, name, salary. And I would like to transform this XML message into the JSON with the root element, with the employee as a object, and these are the child elements: ID, name, salary. I would like to transform this XML to the corresponding JSON data. This is what my requirement now. So to do that, I'll make use of MQ nodes. So if you look at here, this is a queue manager, and in this queue manager I have configured two queues. with the name source and destination. I will use source as the input queue and destination as the output. I will post this XML bus in the source queue and I will transform it, and I will post the JSON message into the destination queue. Okay. It's not maximizing. I think it's very slow. Yeah. Let me create one. It's not responding actually. Just wait a little minute. Open all application. It's still taking little more time. Just note down the topics what we have covered. Just, I think there is some. Just wait. Let me close and open it once. So far we have discussed about introduction of IAB, and I think I've explained you about what is MQ input node and output node, right? What is the main purpose of it? What are the terminals it will have? Just I've explained, I think, right?
Yeah.
Just wait. Its toolkit is open. That is simply XML. Yeah, now we are ready. Yeah. Okay. In today's class, we will transfer. Hello, you are there. You are in the line, right? Durga
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay. Actually, see, I have created. Actually, I'm running multiple of IAB and APA sessions. So, as I have created a separate workspace for each session, each batch. So it has switched to that, and it got stuck, and it took some time to open. Okay. Now this is my employee.xml file. I will transform this particular XML file to the JSON with the object employee, and this particular object is having three channel ID, name, salary. I'll map this ID value to this JSON ID with the respective values, ID to ID, name to name, salary to salary. Okay, for this I'll make use of MQ nodes. Still, it's not responding. Still it's not responding. Oh, sorry for the disturbance actually. Why it's taking such. Just wait, I will connect from different laptop. Just give me some time.
Sure.
Actually, system is hanged or something. 793 758 765. Yeah.
Conference will now be recorded.
Such low.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, sorry, so far I kept that in past. Now I start the recording. I will give overview of what we have discussed till now. Just in this class, I would like to transform this XML message to the JSON. So I'll place this XML message in the source queue, and I will transform that IAB, and I will place that message in the destination queue. So to pick that message in the IAB, we have a node called MQ input node. This is MQ input node, and to to post the JSON message in one queue, destination queue, we need to make use of this MQ output node. The main purpose of MQ output node is whatever the message is in terminal, that message will be keep in the configured queue here, destination queue. I would like to keep that message in the destination queue, and we need to define the connections here also. And for the MQ input node, we need to give the input message parsing. In that, we need to select the appropriate message domain. In this case, I will go with the XML message, right? So that's why I've selected XML NSC domain over here. And for transforming the data from the XML to the JSON, I'm using this compute node. So now I will connect the out terminal to the in terminal of compute node. If you look at the compute node, it has one in terminal and it has 6 output terminals. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 output terminals. First one is failure terminal, and if there is any error occurs in the compute node, that message will be routed to the failure. And we have 5 output terminals. So first in this at this moment I'll make use of this first out terminal. Just click on OK and connect that out terminal to the in terminal of MQ output node. Now connection is done. So now I need to write the code from XML to the JSON. See here, if you look at the compute node, in the compute node we will write eSQL code. eSQL code is nothing but eSQL stands for extended structure query language. It's similarly like SQL. So this is developed by the IBM. Mostly we will use this eSQL code in this IAB. So by default this module will be there. I'll explain you about this when we will have separate class for eSQL. At this moment I will explain you that what is module, function and everything. See, function is nothing but general function in Java. It returns something. So what are the code we would like to write? We should write in between begin and end, right? In this function we need to write before true, before return we need to write the code. So first I would like to see how the message is parsed. I think I've captured one screenshot. See, I will explain you this. See, if you look at here my configuration, the message flow, I've defined one message parsing, right? Here for MQ input node, I've defined message parsing. First, if there is any message in this queue, MQ input node will pick that message and that message will be parsed against this. What are the message domain you have selected over here? That incoming message will be parsed by this domain. So once that parsing is successful, then this IAB will IAB will create one message tree structures. Okay, and if there is any failure occurs while parsing, it will throw an exception. Okay, that once that tree is created, it looks like this. See, under the message, actually we have a 4 message tree, logical tree structures. In IAB we will have 4 logical tree structures. The first one is message, second one is local environment, third one is environment, and fourth one is exception. For time being, I'll discuss only this message. So what are the message you will send, that thing will be created under the message tree structures. In the message tree structure we have some child, it's like a tree structure. It is a top level element and we have properties, MQMD, and our message will be there. Since here my message is, I've selected XML NSC domain in the MQ input node, I will give this implied this message, right? Input as this message. So ID, name, salary. Once it parses successfully, IAB will create the tree structures like this. Under message, under our domain. Since it is XML, so it is XML NSE, and my message root element is employee. Under that we have a 3 child element, that is ID, name, salary. So this is how it will convert. I will show you while we're testing that, and we will launch the debugger, how it is formed, everything I will show you. But at this moment, in order to get these values from the incoming message, I would like to transform the XML to the JSON, right? So I need to fetch this value, ID value, name value, salary, right? So we will make use of these 3 structures to write the code. So if you look at the compute node, first I would like to set I would like to map the incoming XML ID value to the my JSON. This is what my JSON. So I would like to map like this. So we should write the code like this. Set is a keyword. It is used to set any variable value. Set, we have in IAB we will have some input route and output route. Here now I would like to map my input route to the output route. So it's output route dot, just type out and control space. It will give you the key, all the keywords like output route dot, and my output structure will be JSON, right? So it should be JSON dot, for JSON it should be the data. It will this is this IAB follows directly under JSON. It can't store all our message. JSON under that data, in the data our message will be stored. So JSON dot data dot, my JSON object will be employee. So employee dot and I would like to have this ID, right? So employee dot ID equal to from the incoming XML value. So employee dot ID equal to, from the input I would like to fetch that. So input root dot, just type in and control space. It will give you the input root dot. So if you look at this structure, this message is nothing but input root dot. So this is a tree structure. It has 3 child elements like properties, MQMD, XML. Now I would like to have these values, employee ID, right? The path will be like input root dot XML NSC dot. Under XML NSC we have a employee as a root element. So input root dot XML NSC dot employee dot, to fetch the ID, employee dot ID, to fetch the name, input root dot XML NSC dot employee dot name. This is how we need to get the things from this logical tree structures. So input root dot XML NSC dot employee. This file I will give, right, in the income message. So copy it. It should be an eSQL where everything is case sensitive, so we need to be very cautious. Employee dot ID. This is my EMP ID. And each statement should be terminated with semicolon. Similarly, I'll copy this, I'll edit for the rest of the 2 elements, that is name and salary. Copy twice. One is EMP name. It should be same as my input message. It's everything is capital, EMP name salary. And name to the mapping incoming XML EMP name to the name of my JSON object. Salary. Now my code is done. So you understood about these lines, right?
So the first message flow is already created, right? You are just adding only these 3 lines.
Yeah. See,
create compute module, everything is like predefined by.
Yeah, that will come default. So whatever the code you would like to write, according to you requirement, you will write the code, right? You should write in between this begin and end before return true. In this main function, you need to write the code. So
Okay.
you understood this path, right? How we have written, yeah, based on the tree
Yeah, for
section.
example, right, if you want to do any transformations, right, for example, employee name we want to put it in uppercase, so how can we do that?
Uppercase, we will have some string functions and everything in the eSQL. We will have some one class for eSQL code, like what are the main function we're going to use in the projects, and what are the things you will use frequently use in the projects. I will discuss them. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Suppose, yeah. But at this timing, just I would like to explain you about the main advantage, like message transformation, how we will do that, and protocol conversion. I will show you that. Yeah. Now click on Control S, or just here we have a save option. Save it. Click on save. Already I'm saved. I could hear some echo. Could you please keep on mute? And for this message flow, I would like to see node by node. Actually, I would like to see the message node by node. What's happening at this point and what is the message at this point? I would like to see node by node. So to see that, we need to see these are the two connections, right? We need to add a breakpoint at each connection. Just right click on that connection and create a breakpoint. The main advantage of breakpoint is if you add the breakpoint, once you launch the debugger with integration server, that once the message direct, if you are added the breakpoint, the message won't process directly. We need to explicitly process further. I'll show you that. So this is the main advantage of breakpoint. It will break the message. So right click on connection and click on add a breakpoint. Now we have added a breakpoint. Now service creation is done. Now let me publish this, sorry, let me deploy this application to the default integration server. You can directly drag and drop over here, or else if you click right click on, yeah, now my application is deployed. If you look at here, my application deployed under default integration server. Now let me launch the debugger. Just see here we have an option, right click on that integration server and double click on launch debugger. Just click OK. Now debugger is launched. Now let me test that, let me put that message in the source queue. Let me trigger this flow. So I need to put the message in the source queue, right? So actually we see, if you look at MQ, would like to see, and one more thing you have to observe here. See, whenever I deployed that message flow, if you look at here, this source, earlier it was 0, the open input count of this source queue is 0, but now it's incremented by 1, because once I deployed that application, in that message flow, we are making use of this source as a input queue, right? So that's why that count will be incremented. Observe for, as of now, for destination, open input count, output count, and current queue depth is 0, right? Current queue depth is nothing but number of message in that queue. So as of now, there is no message in both queues, that is source and destination. And we have an application called RFS util. And suppose if you would like to put the message in the source queue, just we need to right click on that and put test message. See, I would like to keep this XML message, right? So if you look at here, if I'll copy this message and paste it directly over here, it will take only one line. So we need to form any message, we need to, here if would like to put the test message from the MQ Explorer, this is MQ Explorer, we need to form enter message only one line, but for XML JSON it can't possible, right? Suppose if we have a simple XML message, we can form it in a linear and we can put. So for that we have one more application called RFS util. This is RFS util. Here we can see, to put this message in the queue, we can upload this file, so it will take that message. So just right click on that. This is RFS util. So it will directly take your queue manager and everything. See, in your the MQ system and this RFS util is both are same system, right? So it will show all the list of queue managers in your system. So as of now, I have only one queue manager, that is IAB. Under that, I've created two queues, right? Source and destination. So it will show all the queue managers. Now I would like to place that message in the source queue. Just select that, and if you have an option called open file, so I will upload this file. I have saved this file employee.xml somewhere else, so I will browse that file now. So just click on open file. You need to browse that file. See this XML file, right? I will upload this file. Just click open, and now that file is open. Now this file I will see. In order to put that file message into the source queue, we have an option called write queue. Just click on write queue. Whenever you click on write queue, see, whenever there is now I posted XML message in the source queue, then this, if you look at here, this is highlighted. IAB, that flow is triggered. You click on S, it will take you to the debugger perspective. See, so far we are in integration development perspective, where we will create all the applications. Once you are debugging your message flow, one debug perspective will be opened. This is debug perspective. And observe now. If you look at here, variable section, observe our message under XML NSC, under employee. Sorry, this is different, I think. In this file it is employee ID, name, salary, right? Just wait. When I selected file, just let me process it. It will fail actually. Edit source. Just we will see that message out queue, just source destination queue, start browse, load up this one, employee. So if you look at here, this is, we got empty employee, right? The values are not mapped because I uploaded different file. This is different file, and whatever the file I upload, that is different. Just wait. Click on browse next. Open file. This is in artifacts folder. You understood, right? Why that is empty JSON object in the destination queue? Because see, in the destination queue, see, this is the message. This is the only message with its employee object is created, but the values are not mapped because here in the file the names are different. If you look at here, if you look at the code in my XML message, it's not EMP ID, EMP name, EMP salary. It's simple ID, name, salary, right? That's why these values are not mapped. So let me check the correct file actually where it is saved. Employee.xml. Just I'll click on save as. Go to the batches, artifacts, employee1.xml. So now this is employee1.xml. Now I will upload this file because see, here it will take these names, right? EMP ID, EMP name. We configured this code in this way, these elements in the SQL code. Let me browse that file now. Just click on main and select your source queue and open that file. Just let me navigate from the first desktop. Under that batches, artifacts, employee1. Click open. Now click on write queue. Again, it's debug perspective open. If you look at here now, we could see that our message. See, employee under employee EMP ID, EMP name, EMP sal, right? So this is how it will parse the message. According to the message domain, whatever we define the input message parsing, that input message part successfully, and it will create the tree structures like this. So see, now the message stopped at breakpoint. So let me process it further. So you need to click this step over. Now the message went to the compute node, and after the compute node, this the message stopped. Let's see that message. In the compute node, I've written the code for XML to JSON, right? So if you look at here, JSON object is created. Under that data, under employee, this ID, name, salary values are mapped from the incoming XML message. So let's click on step over. Now that message will be go to the MQ output node. In the output node, I configured the source destination queue, right? Now let's see that message. Just go to the destination and click on start browse. If you click on start browse, see current queue depth is 2. So click on browse next. Next message read from the destination. Go to the data and see here and select JSON. It is showing the values. Let it be character. This is what my JSON data. Now it's converted to the employee employee XML to the employee JSON object. Let's see that message in the Explorer. So just click on refresh. In the destination queue, we have two messages. And if you look at here, open output count is incremented to 1 because now we have, once we process the message, that message is that this queue is using as output queue, right? So that count is incremented to 1. Let's see those two messages. Just we can see that in RFH util, and we could see from here as well. Just right click on that, click on browse message, and it is a two message. This is the first message. Let's see that first message. Data. See, this is simply employee because I uploaded different file, so that values are not matched. So it created an empty employee object. Now I uploaded a appropriate file which I have written the code. So let's see that message. This is a timestamp, everything it will show. Just double click on it, click on data, and this is a message data. Just copy it, paste it, and let's farm in the JSON. Just go to the plugins. I've added a JSON viewer plugin. Show JSON format JSON. Now it is converted to JSON format. So see, this is my input message. Employee, EMPID, name, salary. I've written the code to convert into this one. This is how we need to do XML to the JSON transformation. It's clear, right? Just if you have any question, just please ask.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick question. How can we stop sending those bad messages to the output queue in the first scenario, right? Since that XML tags are not matching, it has sent a bad message.
Yeah, see, if that flow is triggered, it will process further. But since it is a valid XML message, it's parsed successfully.
That's what. It is valid XML, but it is not matching with the format that we defined, right? In the code, in the compute. So how to stop sending those to output? If format is not matching in the compute itself, we should be able to send it to the different.
Yeah, actually, see, yeah, I understood your question. See, based on the input and output, we will write the code, right? So this is like a wrong message, wrong data. That way we can consider as a wrong message. Okay, we can't stop here. Yeah, understood your question, but this, since it is not matching with here, so you want me to stop, right? But here we can't stop it. So that is considered as a wrong message from the client. So that's it.
No, but I have one more question. Why it is not sent to the failure? Because it did not find the input name elements, right? So why
No,
did it didn't go to the failure?
Is it like, can
yeah,
we
see, if you
configure
look,
in the compute itself?
yeah, see, if you look at here, it's earlier I've uploaded this file. Sorry, there is a different XML file. It simply is ID name. Let me show you. It is simply
No, that part we understood. I mean, can we route these wrong messages to some other queue or any flat file or reject file, something like that? That is the question.
Yeah, we can do that. See, in the code we have a different terminals for the compute node, right? So
Ah.
just wait. See, here we can suppose if your scenario, according to your scenario, first if these values are not matching from the incoming message, just first we need to check those values. If those values are not matching with these values, so we can see, since we have 5 output terminals for this compute node, as of now we have connected on, we are making use of only one output terminal, right? So you can make conditions for that. Suppose you need to check the incoming ID value same as this one. If that is the case, you will transform the message. If you would like to create error message, so write the code and you will propagate that error message to the different terminal. Yeah, I will explain you that in further class. Okay. Since it's a simple XML message, now I'm making use of only one output terminal. If that is the case, we can create, we can test the, we can validate the input XML values. If those are not matching, we can propagate to the different terminal. Suppose, let's see how we do that. Let's take one more queue output node. Just let's take one more output node. Just take out one terminal and connect to this terminal. Yeah. See, suppose in the code we need to, I will explain you this everything while we're discussing about more about eSQL code. So here
Okay.
first you will check the incoming values. If the incoming values are matched, okay, then you will do transformation. Or else if those incoming values are not matched, you will propagate that particular message to the out one terminal, and that message will be routed to the this MQ output node, and whatever the queue name you will configure over here, that message will be posted in that queue. Okay, you understood, right?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. For compute node we have 5 output terminals. I will discuss you about I will discuss about this scenario when we discuss about routing concept. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we will have some, I mean, keywords like propagate to out terminal. If I'll explain you at this moment, it will be very clumsy. Like you will feel little complex. So let me go by step. So it will be very easy to understand you, and it's good for us.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, but we can do that. Yeah, actually, sorry. Today my system was responded very slow. It took very long time to work.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is how we need to do some transformation. And first, if you look at here, you will get one more doubt. See, for XML message we are taking only XML NSC, but whereas for JSON, instead of JSON dot employee, we are taking it as a JSON dot data, right? So this is how that IAB will work. So based on that, we need to write if we take only JSON dot employee, it won't take the values. Actually, the JSON data will be under JSON tree. Under that data, in the data, what are the message we are storing, it will store under the data only, not directly on the JSON. Now let's do vice versa. Let's do transform from JSON to the XML. So let me create that as well. Now it is simple, just we need to change the input route to output route. I will show you how to do that. Now for time being, I'm deleting this node, so let's save it. So suppose you would like to delete, I've already deployed this application, right? So if you don't want to deploy that application, right click on that application, delete it. Or else, rather than delete, if you want to stop that application, right click on it, click on stop. Now for timing, I will delete all these applications, because the system will get slow. Yeah. Now let me do from JSON to XML transformation. let me copy this code, these 3 lines. Create a new file, new application, JSON to XML. And in this application, now I'll create a message flow, new message flow, JSON to XML underscore MF message flow. Click finish. Now similarly, first I'll keep the JSON data in the source queue, and I would like to have that XML in the destination queue. For input, I'm making use of MQ input node, and for output, I'll make use of this MQ output node. And let me configure this queue. It will be like underscore queue name source, and this is a mandatory source MQ connection. You need to configure queue manager name here, and you need to define the message parsing. So here we have a message domain with the name JSON. So since my input would be JSON, so I'm selecting that JSON as a message domain. So this property is done. I'm configuring the MQ output properties. In the description, instead of queue node name, let it be the destination queue name. Destination. We need to give the queue name here. Destination. Which destination. Yeah, we need to define the queue manager connection. Let it be IAB. Now these properties are completed. Now let me use compute node. See, what are the nodes you frequently use, just make them as favorite. Just right click on that, add node to favorites. So once you have added, it will show here we have a favorite, right, option. It will show under favorites. Just drag and drop over here, and let me write the code first. See, already I have copied these 3 lines, right? Now it would be vice versa. Just let me comment this. Just select those lines, and we have an option called comment. You need to change. So it should be just control set output root.xml. Control C F, replace JSON data with XML NSC. Sorry, let me do control Z. JSON data detected input.xml NSC. Yeah, if you look at here, just I modified the code according to our requirement. See, let me show that JSON message. Yeah, this is my JSON message, right? Let it be salary then. Or else employee.json. Yeah, sal. Employee ID name sal. Employee. We need to make sure that this incoming name element name should be same. Employee ID name sal. So here employee ID name sal. It should be sal. Okay. See, this is my input JSON. Just wait. Let me delete this. Yeah, this is my input JSON message. It's a object, employee object. It is having three elements: ID, name, sal. So same, right? Employee object name, ID, name, sal. I'm mapping from the input JSON message to the output XML message. My root element should be the employee, and it will have three child elements, that is ID, name, salary. Okay, this is the code. You understood about this, right? Just I make use of
Yeah.
existing code, I modified according to my requirement. Yeah. Now let's test this. Showing some warnings. Input node is not. See, if there is any warnings or errors in my message, in our message flow, it will show under this problem section. Now we have two warnings. That means, see, input node of MQ source is unconnected and MQ destination is no connection. That means we didn't create a connection, right? That's why it's showing the warnings. So now let's connect MQ out terminal of MQ input node to the in terminal of compute node, and output terminal to the in terminal of MQ output node. Just Control S, save it. Now these warnings are gone. So I will debug this flow. Just for that, I will click on Control A and right click it, add a breakpoint. So instead of adding each and every connection, just press Control A and right click it, select add a breakpoint. It will add all the breakpoints in each and every connection. Since here we have only two connections, it's added in two connections. Now let me deploy this flow to here. Right click on that flow and we have an option called deploy, and select that integration server, click on finish it. Now our flow is published to the integration server. Now let's test this. Just let me, the destination I have a two queue. See, if you look at here, in the destination you have two message, right? So if you would like to delete them, just here queue depth is 2, right? So in destination queue we have two messages. Let me clear that. We have an option called purge. You click on purge queue, it will clear all the message in the queue. Now it is 0. That means there is no message in this destination queue. Now in order to trigger this flow in the MQ input node, I have given this queue name, right? So let me put that JSON message in this queue. So select the file, open file, and select this JSON file, open, and that file is fetched. Now click on write queue. So whenever you click on write queue, our flow is triggered. Click on S, and we need to see, we will see the message. Once that message picked by the MQ input node, it parsed again is the message domain. Since my input is JSON, I have selected the input message domain as JSON. It's parsed successfully and it's created a tree structure. Look at here, under JSON, under data, under employee, our values, it is created a tree structures according to our input message. Now we need to add our message flow this debugger section. Just click on add source lookup path and click on add, and click on message flow container, click on OK, and select our message flow JSON to XML, right? Just click OK, click OK. our flow is there. And see, now earlier just I debugged the code node by node, right? So now I would like to see that in the compute node we can debug the line by line in the compute node. So instead of clicking on step over, if you click on step over, it will come out from the, so now the message is stopped at this point. If you click on step over, it will directly, that message will go to the compute node. From the computer, the message will be stopped over here. But now I would like to see the code line by line. So I would like to debug the code line by line. To do that, we have an option, see, right down or right, step into source. Just click on that. Now our control goes to the ESQL file. So now since we have directly, it won't go here. Just what are the things, as I told you earlier, right? What are the user code would like to write, we should write before return, right? Directly control comes there. And now now we are at this point. See, it is showing with arrow, right? Just click on this step into, that first line is executed. We could see the output after this line. See, if you see the variable, double click on it, variables. See, in the first line, I've created output route, right? I've mapped XML, I've mapped incoming JSON ID to the XML NSC JSON ID. In the output route, under XML NSC, under employee, our first ID value is mapped. Let's see for second line. Just click on step into. Now that second line is executed. Now see here, output, under output route, under XML NSC, name. See, first line is ID is mapped and the second line is name is mapped. Now let's see third line. Now third line, after third line, every value is mapped. That is ID, name, salary is mapped. So see, if you look at here, ID, this ID will be shown here. This incoming ID, name, salary. What are the things we'll mention here? That child elements will be created under JSON object. Now our code execution is done. Just click on step over. Now it come out of from the compute node. Just click on step over. Now that message will be go to the MQ output node. In the output node, we configure the destination queue, right? Let's see in the destination. Earlier, if you now select destination to browse the message, start browse. Now queued up this one, right? That means our XML message there, one message. That to view that message, click on data. See, this is XML, right? We have a message format. Select XML here. It will show in the XML format. This is my XML JSON to the XML transformation. For time being, I am doing some simple XML JSON messages. In the future, we will do some complex XML and JSON messages. Okay. For that,
so
we need.
I have a question. So where are we defining the XSD? So as it is small, I mean simple XML, we are directly transforming. But where are we giving the XSD if there is any complex XML?
No. See,
So,
that XSD here we are not giving an XSD. XSD is mainly meant for to validate an XML, to define our XML structure, right? But at this moment, I'm not creating any. I'm not creating any XSD. In the code only, I'm mentioning how my output should be. So if you look at here, this is my output, right? I have defined this in the code. If you go to the code, just switch to the integration development and click on compute. See, if you look at here, in the output route is nothing but I would like to create a message in the output. So if you look at here, this is XML NSC. That means my output message should be the XML message. And this is XML message. For that XML message, I need to have a root element with the employee. So see, if you look at here, the same employee is created here with a root element. In that root element, I need to have a 3 child elements, that is ID, name, salary. So I'm mapping this ID from the incoming JSON ID and mapping name from the incoming JSON name and mapping this salary from the incoming sal value. So if you look at
so
here,
So if there are multiple hierarchies, so that output defining will be going to that 5 levels.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For time being, at this moment, I'm working with sample simple XML JSON messages. Okay,
okay?
to in further classes we will work with multiple. Suppose under root element we will have a repeated elements, how to transfer everything I will show. For that purpose, we will use some SQL function, looping functions, and everything. So that's what I'm saying. Whenever we discuss SQL code, at that moment I will show some complex transformation and everything. Just I'm going by step. If at this moment I will take all this complex XML message, I will transform, so you don't understand that SQL code. That's why I'm going step by step. It's okay, right?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think today is enough. Today we worked on transformation, that is XML to JSON and JSON to XML. And one more thing, see, if you look at here in the input message domain, if you go to the MQ input node, and every message flow should start with an input node because it should trigger the flow. See, if you look at here in the input message parsing, we have message domain size XML NSC for XML and JSON for JSON. Suppose if I'm having some CSV value, suppose in my consider scenario where I need to transform one CSV data into the XML data. At that moment, since we don't have for CSV, we don't see separate message domain as CSV, right? So for that, there is a different concept called DFDL, data format description language. In tomorrow class we will discuss about the DFDL and how to create a CSV file and how to transform that CSV to either XML or JSON and vice versa. We will do all the things in tomorrow session. Yeah,
Alright.
if you are okay, tomorrow is weekend, right? If you are okay for that, we will connect. Just let's fix for one time and we will connect. And tomorrow I'm having two sessions. One is in the morning 11 to 1 2 hour session, and 4 to 6. Except these timings, I'll be okay forever. Those are IST timings. If you are okay for any other timings
No,
rather
no.
than like 4,
Actually, we wanted for only weekdays training.
yeah, that's what if you would like to complete the training very fast, we will sit in the weekends. If you, yeah, that is based on your requirement. Just I'm checking you.
Yeah, we'll go by only weekdays, Fridays,
Yeah,
everything.
thank you. Yeah, it's okay, right? Just practice this. If you want me to send some artifacts, some sample XML JSON files, I will send them.
Yeah.
Can you send the installation instructions for MQ and this one IAB toolkit?
I don't have the documents. It's simple. I mean, other softwares, how we will install, like first accepting license agreement, next, right? It's same as like that. For MQ, there is a MQ. It will little different, and it will ask you for domain control. It will ask you whether in your system you have installed domain controller or what. Since you are installing your private, I mean personal laptop, just select at that moment no, and click next. That will be installed. Or else we will I will make you as a presenter, so we will install in any one of your mission. It would be very easy.
Okay. So if we are installing in a office laptop, right? Domain controls are there. So how to do with that? Because yesterday when I tried to install, I faced that
At
problem.
that moment it will show the option, like it will ask you, do you have a domain control? At that moment you need to select yes, so that automatically will take.
It is asking me to
And
create
one more
another
thing
domain.
in you,
It is.
what
Go ahead.
can you please,
Yeah, it is
yeah,
asking me to create one more domain actually. It is not taking the existing user. It is asking me to create another user for that.
no, see, uh, one, it will allow you to install, but once it's installed, you don't need you that integration server and integration node automatically created, but you can't access that will be in the downstate. And in your organization there is one group, IT guys will take care about that. There will be one MQ group and IAB group, and your domain control, you will have a username, right? That username should be added in that group, then only you can access, you can work with IAB and MQ.
Okay.
Actually, in my office, it happened the same thing for me. That entire thing, see, once they install domain controller, we can't install anything, right? It will everything they need to take care about that.
Okay. So RFH util is going to come default by with the MQ connector?
No.
Or do
That
we
is
need to install
different
separately?
application. That is different applications.
So we
Yeah,
have to
check
install
with your
separately.
IT teams. Yeah, they will have it.
Okay. Is it like a free software or it's like proprietary?
Yeah, it's free only, I think. Yeah, I think so. It's free, open source.
Okay.
Our IT people will have all these softwares. If you see in your organization, there is a scope for middleware. I mean, if you have a lot of middleware project, IT team will aware of these all installations and these all technologies like RFH util. We will have RFH client also. They will have idea about all these things. Okay, thank you. Let's close this session. Yeah, tomorrow we will work on CSV kind of things. Okay, CSV to
No,
XML.
tomorrow is the weekend, right?
Yeah,
We'll
on
let
Monday
get back on
we'll
Monday.
yeah, Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.